Hey guys, Ron and Will here,
And Michelle.
and we're going to start something a little different today. I've been wanting to, well, first off, I have a ton of board games.
How many?
And by a ton, I mean too many to really bother counting.
There's your answer.
So I figured, why not try playing some of these games and showing you guys how to play it. So today we are going to be playing, there we go, Dice Forge. We're going to be playing Dice Forge. We're going to basically show you everything from setup to how to play. We're not going to walk you through setting everything up because obviously this has been used before. But the box looks like this.
Oh, I took some cards.
Michelle took cards and dice out. So you have your player boards, different heroes. If I could grab them all out, I would. There we go. They're all the same, just the colors are different. Of course, you have your little peg character. You have dice that are actually this is the whole crux of the game, are these dice. You can change the faces on them, and the way you do that is you use gold to buy new faces. The new faces, if I can avoid spilling these all over the place, are in here. Ooh, wow, there's such a bad glare. Sorry, guys.
Here, I tried this.
There we go. That's the cover for this set, so they don't go flying all over the place. Anyway, so you buy these pieces in the game, trying to make the dice more effective. As you can see, we have the board set up here. This little marker is the turn marker. So you put this on turn 1. There's only 2 players, so there's only 9 turns in the game. If there are 3 players, there's 10 turns, and if there's a cat, you don't play the game at all. And if there's 4 players, there's only 9 turns as well. So we'll get into like what our thoughts are on the game once we're done. So first thing you do in setup, lay out the board, and then you pick your cards that go into these slots. Each set of cards, so if you look down here, this is 1 moonstone, so you put it in the 1 moonstone spot. You also have sunstones, which are here. You put them obviously in the sunstone spot. For the level 1 items, there are only 2 sets of starter cards, so you don't have any choices. These are the ones that are always going to be used here. As you can see, my board is a little warped, which is weird because this game is pretty new. I haven't played it that often. This is like the 3rd time, 4th time I've played. So with level 2, there's actually 2 different options, and you'll notice that they have a base game setup as far as like what cards will go there, but instead we're just going to put some random cards there, as long as they match the costs. So we're just going to I'm going to finish setting up all of the moonstones, and Michelle will work on the sunstones.
Which one?
It's your choice. To be fair, I don't know what all of them do.
It's okay. Neither do I. So I'm just going to see what we did before.
So there are only one type of 5 counters, so you're going to have very little choice on that. Any extra cards you can put back in the box, obviously. And the last set of cards that we pick are the 5 and 5. So the most expensive cards are these two 6s, or 5 of both Sun and Moonstones. So that's these cards here. Wow, it's these cards here. If you look at the bottom, isn't this fun?
People are trying to pause it, like, I can't figure it out.
So we'll just, again, you just take one. Here's a better shot of it. Take one of the two sets. This game also came with a bonus one for, I guess it's not a bonus card, but a promo card in the set. So that's this little guy. There's only one of them, so we're not going to play with them. Okay, so that's the basic setup. Usually what you would do is take your faces and put it at the end here. However, we do not have a big enough table for this. That's not true. We do have a big enough table. We just don't have a big enough table with the camera. So it's going to sit just below, I think, is it just out of focus?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
It's a little out of focus, but what you gonna do? Alright, next is the very important part of this game. You have to pick your color.
Pick a color, any color.
So what color do you want to play as?
I'll pick blue.
Blue.
A blue.
Okay, so you're playing as the blue warrior.
A blue.
I'll play as the green warrior, as I always do. So both of their maps are all the same. All 4 players have the same exact thing. You have your gold, your sunstones, your moonstones, and your victory points. You also have a color, the picture of your character, and 2 spaces for your dice. That is called locking in your dice, or that's what I call it anyway. I know when you're changing the faces of your dice, you have you call it forging dice. I'm not 100% sure on the name for when I think it's just locking in the dice. I should have probably moved so you guys could see. Okay, so I'm going to just set this guy up real quick. He's not going to be playing, however, he's going to be the black dice, the black blocks. So they give you these little cubes, and because we're starting the game, everybody starts at 0, and then we determine who's first player, and all of that stuff affects the players. Okay,
it's kind of blended in the thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot hold this up because there is no back on these cards. If you look, you can basically stick your finger through it. That's the problem with this style of. What's the matter?
I'm just gonna zoom in.
Okay. That's the problem with these player boards. It's a very popular thing to do these player boards now. Oh, and then of course you put the dice here and here. It's a very common thing to do with the player boards now is do punch outs. It's easier to track everything. I just wish that they kind of would punch them out for you and have cardboard on the back, so then you could actually move this without losing your spot. Anyway, I digress. So you put your little pawn on your color, and you're just about ready to start. The last thing we have to do, there are other components to this game, like you have this. These are extensions for your player boards. Since there's only 2 of us, we only need 2. And there's other counters and stuff like that. We'll we'll address those when and if they're played. The last thing we have to do is, this is a larger marker version of the turn counter, and this actually determines the first player. So first player has it. Everybody takes a turn. Then this goes to the left. Then the next player, obviously in 2 players, it goes to the second player, and vice versa. This way, the first player is not always first, which is very important in this game, is the turn order. Alright, so the last thing we do when we start the game is you go to your player board, and whoever player 1 is going to get 2 gold. Oh, sorry, it's going to get 3 gold.
Oh, excuse me.
And in a 2-player game, player 2 is getting 2 gold. So, yeah, I really wish we had a second camera. Our second camera is dead right now, so unfortunately,
All you see is board.
all you see is the board, which is fine. I'm going to play as player 1 this turn, so I'm going to get 3 gold. Michelle's going to be player 2, getting 2 gold. We also have a little handbook here. On the back it shows what the dice faces are. On the inside is all of these cards and what these cards do. There are a lot of cards to memorize, so
Always good to have the instructions on
yes,
hand.
always keep instructions on hand. Alright, so we are actually all set up and ready to play. And I will take my first turn. So first thing we do is all players take their dice. Michelle's rotating stuff, so I have to hold. All players take their dice in their hand, and you roll your dice. Okay? So, at this time, I realized I did not tell you what these dice faces do. So, this is gold. There we go. This is gold. You get 1 gold for every one of these you roll. You also have 2 victory points. And sunstone, or on your other one you have moonstones. I think this dice is wrong. One sec, guys. I just want to check something real quick.
No, you should have the moonstone on that one.
Yeah, but this one has an extra. This one. So here's what the moonstone dice should look like. Okay. So as you can see, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Pretty much the same, and then completely different. So somebody got a little screwy on the dice. We can fix that later. I'm going to switch out this dice though, and I'm going to re-roll because that should not be the case. So I'm going to re-roll both dice. There we go. Okay, so now I have 1 sunstone and 1 gold. Now both players actually get their benefits from their roll. However, since I'm the active player, I'm the only one who can do anything. So, what I'm going to do, I have 4 gold and 1 sunstone. You having trouble? You want to? I know you're trying to show that. So, so I can't really buy anything. I could buy one of these 2 sunstones, but I'm actually going to hold on to it. I'm going to pay, excuse me, I'm going to pay 3 gold, so I'm down to 1 gold, and then I'm going to come down here.
Can't see it.
You can't see it, but here, we're going to move this. I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to buy a 4 gold face. So, so what we're going to do, so what I do now is I can pick either one of my dice. I'm going to pick my moonstone dice, and I'm just going to pop off one of these 1 gold pieces and switch it with a 4 piece.
It's like a Lego brick.
it's kind of like a Lego brick. Okay, so now it's slightly upgraded. You want to hold on to these markers though. Very important to hold on to those markers. There are cards that become useful based on how many faces you changed out on your dice. So with that, I'm not actually going to move. I'm going to stay where I am, and it will turn into Michelle's turn. So the first thing we do, we both roll again. Okay, so right away my 4 gold is coming into use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 extra gold is 5. Alright, so Michelle now has 1 sunstone and how much gold?
5 gold.
5 gold. So Michelle can buy anything she wants that goes from less than 5 or 5. We keep showing brief glimpses of the board, but it's basically 2 gold, 3 gold, 4 gold, 5 gold, 6, 7, and 6, 8, and 12 are the amount of gold you will need to be able to buy stuff. Alright, so
I chose the 2 gold plus 1 moonstone.
alright.
So I spent 4 gold for that.
Okay. So now that's the end of turn 1. We're going to transfer the player marker from me to Michelle, and we're going to move the turn marker from 1 to 2. So now Michelle gets to take her turn first. So I got a decent roll this time.
Lucky you. I'm going to go here.
Okay, so Michelle chose to move instead of purchase.
And I'm going to use 1 sun to
Okay.
get this card.
Okay, so that card, almost dropped a piece.
That'd been good.
That card is called the Wild Spirits. And what this card does, it's a one-time effect immediately when you buy it.
Hence this little
The little
thing. Lightning
whirly
bolt.
derby, whatever you want to call it. You gain 3 gold and 3 moonstones when you purchase this card. Now, just like the dice faces, you also want to hold on to the card.
I already did the victory point added.
Normally at the end of the game, you add up the victory points. Michelle jumped the gun and wanted to count her victory points before they hatched.
Alright, I changed my mind.
Alright, so that's all she can do, so it's my turn now. I am going to roll. She is going to roll. We take our gold and whatever else we got. So I have right now 7 gold, 3 sunstones, 1 moonstone, and 0 victory points. So I think it might behoove. Yeah, it might benefit me
Behoof.
to actually move over here to the 1 moonstone, and I am going to go for this card. This card,
Looks like Thor's hammer.
if I can, well, you're not too far off. Thank you. That card is called the Blacksmith's Hammer. If you flip that card over, it has a gold track. So what this does is I can, when I roll gold, I don't have to take the gold. Instead, I can move this little marker. Can you guys see that? Let's see. There you go.
Sort of.
That little marker down this track for every gold point, every 1 gold. So 1, 2, you know, all the way to the end here. If I get there once, it gives me 10 victory points automatically.
Ooh.
Then I flip this marker over. It has a number 2 on it. And do it again. I then get 15 victory points for making it to the end.
Ooh.
So, that's
That's
that's that. But I'm also going to, I want to spend some gold right now. So the only way you can do that if you've already purchased something is if you have 2 sunstones. You can spend 2 sunstones, which I am, to get an extra move or an extra
Turn, basically.
activation. So I'm going to then spend, I'm going to spend 6 out of my 7, so that only leaves me with 1. And I am going to switch out my 1 sunstone, 1 moonstone for a 2 moonstone.
Handy.
Alright. And that is all of my turn. You started this round, correct?
Yes. So,
Alright, so this rotates back. We're going to advance the turn marker.
Bloop.
And now I get to start us off this turn. Okay, so I get 1 sunstone. And now here's where I have to make a decision first. Do I want to spend that gold I would accumulate to move up 1 space on my marker, or do I want to hold on to it so I can maybe buy something a little bit more useful later? I think I'm actually going to use it, keep it right now. So I have on my board, I have 2 gold, 2 sunstones, and 1 moonstone, and still 0 victory points. So I will, let's see, I think I will actually stay where I am, spend my last moonstone, and purchase this card. This card is called the Blacksmith Crest. What this does is it allows me, when I purchase it, I put it to the side just like all other cards, and then it allows me to take a chest tile and attach it to the inventory of the of your inventory, which expands how many of everything you can get. So as you can see, it gives me an extra 4 gold, an extra 4 gold, 3 sunstones, and 3 moonstones. Victory points it does not affect. So I just put it at the end. Here, let me grab this little guy, and I'll just show you. So it just kind of fits in. It doesn't snap in, mind you, but it just fits in just like that. So I'm gonna put that down. Sorry. And that is my turn. So I declare that I am done with my turn. So it is Michelle's turn, and ooh.
I am not doing well.
All right. While you are moving your dice, I rolled 5 gold. So instead of using 5 gold or gaining 5 gold, I'm going to use the 5 gold to advance my gold marker. My hammer, my smithy hammer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So go ahead.
So I'm gonna actually move and use 5 moonstones that I collected to get this card.
Okay, so Michelle picked up the Helmet of Invisibility. This card gives her a tile piece, a new piece for her dice. Sorry, guys. And what that piece does is it triples the value of her other dice. Meaning, if she rolls that and any of her dice that have a numeric value, you times it by 3. So right now 1 times 3 is only 3, but if she was to get a 6 or a 4, 6 times 3 is 8. No, it's not 8. Why'd you say 8?
And I was gonna say 18, but that's not right. Yes. Shush.
Michelle's good at math. It's 18.
Yeah, that was right.
Yes. which means you could get 18 gold
Right away.
right away, which if you had 0 gold, you would still be getting you would still get 2 extra gold that you could not use.
Oh no.
But so that is it, or do you want to use your
Oh yes, I can use my gold.
well, you have to use your sunstone.
Sunstone.
Do you want to use your 2 sunstones to buy some other add-ons?
I am. I'm going to use my 2 sunstones
Okay.
and spend 8 of my gold to get a 2 sunstone.
Plus 2 sunstones. So just like the plus 2 moonstones, it instead gives you plus 2 sunstones.
It will help my times 3.
All right, and that is everything for this turn. So Michelle is going to advance that marker,
Bloop.
and then she becomes player 1.
Ooh.
Okay, I am not going to use the gold to advance my hammer right now. I also got 2 moonstones, so I advanced those.
Okay. So I'm going to... I'm thinking. I'm going to spend my 3 gold to get a 4 gold.
Okay. And Michelle does not have any more sunstones, which means she cannot do anything else this turn. And just so you know, you cannot, so if somebody is forging their dice, such as when Michelle was forging her dice, I am not allowed to roll or touch my dice until the forging is done.
Forging meaning just taking the piece out and putting a new piece in.
Right. But it's actually in the rules because it could affect the rolls and everything else. So, especially since at the beginning of each player's turn, everybody rolls.
Ooh.
Okay, I got 2 gold, which is
Really?
exactly what I needed, actually. So I'm going to gain 2 gold. I'm not going to use it to help my forge, but I am going to spend 4 of that gold, and I'm going to get this tile, which is a 6 gold. So now I am going to switch out one of my 1 gold faces for a 6 gold face.
And it's only one of those 6 gold face
Yes.
ones.
Alright, so I am not going to do anything else right now. I'm planning on holding on to my 2 sunstones and 2 moonstones. So, we advance to turn 5.
5? Yes.
We're already on turn 5, guys. This is actually a fairly short game. So I am now the forger. I'm kind of hoping I get a really good roll. That was a crap roll. I'm going to use the 2 gold just to advance my my smithy hammer. Now, what do I want to do? This is actually kind of challenging because I don't know what some of these cards do, guys. Okay, so I am going to go and spend, I'm going to go over here and spend, oh, that's not me.
You forgot?
There you go. And spend 2 of my sunstones to get this card. There we go. Okay, so he is the Guardian's Owl. It's not an instant effect, but on every turn I gain 1 gold, 1 sunstone, or 1 moonstone. So this one I will keep in a separate pile for effects that can be used every turn. That is everything I can do, though. So it is Michelle's turn.
Can I roll again?
I am not rolling really well.
Same here.
I again advanced my gold marker, not my hammer, not my gold.
Gotcha. So I'm going to. I'm actually gonna go right over here and spend my 3.
Okay, so you are buying the
boar.
tenuous boar. So now this one is actually a little bit different. It does give you a face, you know, a new forged face. However, depending on what boar you take, affects which face you get for your markers. So if I'm not mistaken, you got the red boar.
Yes.
Okay, so.
So I picked the red face one.
Correct.
Alright, I guess you will go. Ooh. Guess you'll take over a gold piece.
Okay, so if you roll that boar, let me know because it has a very specific effect.
Gotcha. I'll put him off to the side.
Yes. Okay, and that is everything you can do, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we roll again because, oh wait, I started this turn, right?
Yes.
Okay, never mind, we do not roll. We change and we advance to turn 6.
Now we roll.
Now we roll.
Ooh, I got my ×3.
Alright, I got 5 gold.
I'm running out of space for gold.
Okay, so I advanced my hammer. I'm actually only 1 space away from getting 10 victory points. So I'm actually going to go over to where Michelle's character is. Now, only 1 player can stand on each section.
I thought it was my turn.
Oh, sorry. It
He's
is not my
He's
turn.
jumping the gun. He really wants to play.
I really want to kick Michelle out of where she is.
Well, how dare you?
But since it's not my turn, I can't do that, and I just ruined my plan. I just told Michelle what I'm planning.
So I better get out before he ruins it.
Well, it's not a bad thing if you get kicked. If you get knocked out of your space, so if I did move here, she would go back to the centerpiece here and be allowed to re-roll her dice and get what they call a blessing, or a second blessing. Blessings will happen depending on the markers on the cards, as well as I think there is not. There might be a dice face that also allows you to re-roll 1 die. Anyway, so it's Michelle's turn though, not my turn, so I can't bounce her.
Nope. But I will spend 8 gold to get. Ooh. Do 2 of the sunstone.
Okay, Michelle's harping on that sunstone.
Yeah. Actually, I don't want to do 2. I'm actually going to do 3 victory points.
3 victory points, okay.
Because I realized I already had a 2 sunstone. Where's my victory one? I don't get a victory one?
That means your dice was the one that got screwy. I didn't pick out the dice, and I didn't review these dice beforehand. So just remove one of those 1 sides.
I'm gonna sure.
Alright, so...
Now you can go.
Okay, unless you want to spend your sunstones.
No.
Okay, so now I'll go. We both roll. I have very useful rolls, but I'm going to gain 1 gold, and then I'm going to spend the other gold on my other die to advance the marker to the end, which means I get 10 victory points right off the bat. So I advance my victory point to 10. Then I flip this over to side 2, and I can start at the bottom again. However, I did not roll any resources that I really could use right now. So, And now that I think about it, it might not benefit me to bounce Michelle out of her space. So I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay.
So,
Alright. Here's that. Here's this. And we roll.
okay.
Alright.
This
So
is the first time I rolled a victory marker.
I did get a boar.
Okay, that's boring.
Hey.
Alright, I'm going to gain 1 more gold. So, each boar is linked to the card if it offers 2 effects which provide a benefit to 2 different players, the face bearer and the card's owner. Oh, I read this wrong. I do apologize, guys. Again, still learning the game. The face actually was supposed to be forged onto my dice.
Oh.
So,
Do you want it back?
well, you want to put it here, and instead of getting the 1 gold, I'll roll that boar.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Hold on. I gotta use another one to pop open it.
yeah. Okay, so you're going to get that 1 back, and I'm going to get rid of a 1 for the boar. Okay, sorry guys. Again, still learning this game, but it tends to happen. Okay, so the boar's effect for the person who rolled it. I collect either a sunstone or a moonstone. I'm going to collect a moonstone. And for the owner of the said card, let's see. Hold on, sorry.
Gets both?
It's a little complicated, like I said. So the owner of the card gets the effect of the card that you got. Each time the effect of the matching die face are applied.
So I just get the other one then?
And, hold on, choose another player and they gain that face. Effect. So depending on what one you... Oh, you get victory points. You get 3 victory points for me rolling it.
Okay. Sweet. That's it?
Sorry, you get 3 victory points, 1 sunstone or 1 moonstone. It's your choice.
Ah, so I'm actually gonna go with Moonstone.
Okay, so just drop your victory points back down by 3.
Oh, I don't get the victory?
You don't get it's one or the other.
Oh.
Again, reading helps. I should have read that whole description before actually telling you how it worked.
Thanks.
Sorry, guys. Alright, however, that still does not help me.
No.
Mostly because I do not want to kick you, and I do not have enough for any other things. So, it is your turn.
Okay.
I rolled exactly what I rolled before.
I rolled really not much better.
So, I've gotten 4 victory points by just rolling alone.
What to do, what to do? It's very tough to do. I'm going to go here
Okay.
and spend my 4 moon to get this guy. He doesn't do much, but towards the end.
Okay, so he has no effect. He is only worth 12 victory points at the end of the game. This is a very low scoring game.
Yes. Well,
We tested this last night, and that game was a fairly high scoring game.
well, we scored these right away.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, by this time last game, I had some of these big guys
Oh,
already.
true.
Again, it falls to the dice rolls, which some people may not like, some people will like. It is an enjoyable, shorter game. However, it is now Michelle's turn. We are on turn 8. There are only 9 rounds, like I
10?
mentioned earlier. 9.
No.
9 for 2 players, 10 for 3 players, and 9 for 4 players.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
ready?
Yep. Okay, I rolled the boar again,
Alright.
and I also rolled 2 victory points. I am going to gain another moonstone.
And I will gain 3 victory points from him.
Okay. So that puts you at 9 victory points.
Correct.
Okay, I'm at 6 victory points. So again, right now.
No, you're 16.
Oh, sorry, 16 victory points.
You forgot you forge already?
Yeah. For right now, it looks like Michelle is way behind. However, like I said, she has some high-scoring cards.
You will see later on.
All right. So now, Michelle, what would you like to do?
Let's see. That's a 5. I'm gonna go here.
Okay.
Spend my 4. And purchase this guy.
Okay, you get. Where was he? You get Triton. You take a single Triton marker, which is a one-time marker, that you can play at any time to gain either 2 sunstones, 2 moonstones, or 6 gold.
The one time.
So once you're, when you use it, flip it upside down and put it next to your card pile.
Not a problem.
All right. So we
That's
roll
it.
again because it's my turn now. 4, 5. I have 5 gold. I'm actually just going to use it to move my forge again. And I have 4 moonstones. So I am actually going to move over here, spend the 4.
Taking my idea.
I'm in desperate need of victory points. And I just realized I have not been using my
No, you
Owl's
haven't.
ability. For anybody who remembers way back at
Near
the
the
time I
beginning.
got it, my Owl gives me 1 sunstone, 1 moonstone, or 1 gold. I'm going to gain the 1 gold, but use it in my hammer forge. I have to remember that that's a thing for the last round. Yes, we literally only have 1 turn left, and I remembered.
Congratulations.
All right, so final
Yeah.
round. We change hands again.
Oops.
I don't think I'm going to win this one, guys. I am.
I don't know. You're doing better than me.
Alright, so I have 2 victory points and 4 gold. I am going to take that 4 gold, 1, 2, 3, 4, use it in my forge. It does not really make a difference, however, because I don't have enough for anything that world breaking. Actually, I might. Okay, so I'm going to use my Owl to gain 1 sunstone. Then I'm going to spend that 1 sunstone here to gain this card, which gives me 3 gold and 3 moonstones. Not a whole lot. However, those 3 gold are going to go to my forge. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, my hope is that I roll 1 gold on this final run.
Oh.
If I roll it, I get 15 points, victory points. If I fail, I wasted a ton of gold trying to get this. I wasted 15 gold trying to get this. It is Michelle's turn.
Alright, so let's see. Roll the dice.
Roll on the dice for me, guys. Hey, it worked. Alright, so I'm going to gain 1 gold, and then I am going to fully finish my forge hammer.
Congratulations.
It moves me up to
Math.
30,
Oh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 33.
Oh.
And now I take this card and I just put it to the side.
For his victory, for his points.
Just to remind me that I managed to do that. Alright, Michelle, what is your final act?
Alright, well, I'm actually going to go to this island right here, spend 6 of the moonstones to grab that guy.
Okay, she has grabbed,
Ooh.
if I can give it to her, she has grabbed the Sentinel. Receive 2 divine blessings, meaning you can roll 2 dice. Each time you gain a sunstone or moonstone, you may choose not to add them to your reserve, in which case you gain 2 victory points per sunstone or moonstone.
Aha. Alright, so I'm going to roll. Correct?
Yes. Ooh, that did not pan out as nice as you would. However, you still get the divine blessing, which means you get an extra gold.
I do.
And 3 victory points.
I do. So that's...
That puts you at
12.
12.
A whole 12.
Alright, and...
Oh, and I still have this guy.
Okay, what would you like to
I'm
spend it
going to
on?
spend it using 2 of the sun.
Okay.
So, 2 sun.
Okay, this is interesting because you do know that you cannot do anything without spending 2 sun.
Correct. I do know that.
Okay, so...
I'm going to... Damn. I miscalculated. That's what I did.
Well, you could spend 2 sunstones.
I'm going to spend 2, spend all of them, to head right over here, get the little guy, even though right now he's not really much, but 4 victory points is 4 victory points.
And to be fair, you also get another one of those tokens, which if you want, you can use... Sorry, that is not the token you get.
No, I do not have that back.
Sorry. So, again, these guys have similar effects, and it throws me off. Alright, so, do you want to use his effect now, since it is the end of the turn? You can gain 1 more gold if you want, to max out your gold.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And that is it, guys. That is the end of the round. Or
the game.
So, what we're going to do now, we're going to actually clear this off. We're going to push our characters to the center, and we're going to show you how to tally up the final score. Alright guys, we're back, and a little bit better view of what's going on here on our player boards. So, this is how the end of the game is going to look. You're going to have a pile of cards, you're going to have some used faces, you're going to keep everything that you kept, you're going to keep where it is. Okay? And of course you want to put your dice back where they belong. So now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to add up the value on all the upper left, right there, of all of our cards. So, we can do that simultaneously. 14, 18, 20. I have a whole 20. So that brings me up. This bottom piece is by 10s, this top piece is by 1s. So I have a total of 50 as of right now. This is when Michelle just turns around and it's like, well, I got 60 just in cards alone.
41 in cards.
41 in cards.
41 in cards.
Alright, so that brings you up to 53. So, looks like you have won this one. However, we
There's more
cannot
to this.
say for sure because the remaining items, so the remaining gold, remaining firestones and moonstones, all also add to your victory points. So I have 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, which I'm pretty sure is still not enough to beat Michelle. Alright. So my final score is 60 on the dot. And you have
65.
65. You beat me by 5 points, guys.
Oh, wait, there's more.
No, there isn't.
Oh.
No, these... She's lying. No, these faces you want to hold on to for 2 reasons. First off, obviously because
You put the things
you have to put it away. And secondly, because there are cards in the game that will affect your victory points depending on how many faces you've changed out in the game. In this case, like I said, we did not have them. But hey guys, so that was Dice Forge.
Yes. It's right here.
It is. So what did you think of the game? I know this is the second time you've played it, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It was fun. It's very quick, easy to easy to learn. Oh. It was fun because it's like Lego blocks, like undoing Lego blocks and putting them together.
Yeah.
Which makes it a little bit more entertaining.
It's a different game. It's a different take on the deck building game, if you will.
Yeah, technically it's dice building.
It's a dice building instead of a deck building, which is fairly unique. I only have heard of one other game that has ever done this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that more games are starting to develop this technology. It's cool because every game does change a lot.
Yes.
The first game we had was a lot higher point value game than this one actually was.
Right.
But yeah, no, setup and cleanup is quick, easy.
Very easy to, yeah. Everything was lined up nicely in the box, which is nice.
Yes, inserts.
Inserts, yes.
The insert that they provide, mind you, because usually you have to go out and buy the inserts and everything else. This one is provided, and it's got a slot for everything. It's very straightforward. It's really, really simple and really cool.
And what's nice is if they ever expand, they have space,
the room, yeah.
space for it.
All right. So, what would you rate this game?
Out of 10?
Out of whatever you want to rate it.
Okay, I'd probably rate this 6 out of 10.
Okay.
But just because it doesn't have really a story and didn't really have like anything other than just pretty colors. On that aspect, on that.
Okay, I did enjoy it a little bit more, but I also like the building aspect.
True.
I prefer the building aspect type stuff. I would probably give this. I would give it 7 sunstones out of 10.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Too bad you can't change your answer.
Um.
Bye guys.